do some little sweeps here and there. So I'm going to treat this as the top. I'm going to try to bound it in a circle or an oval. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. This is just going to be a very loose painting here. Little circles or swooshes. Try and blend these out so they're not so strong. Good enough for that. Very subtle effect here. So this painting's a lot of very subtle things that add up together. So we did that with the 1-inch brush. Now I'm going to grab the fan brush here. I think this one's clean. It doesn't look clean, but it is clean. And do the same kind of thing, but a lot more white. And this is going to look like moonlight on the bottom of the cloud. Kind of like waves a bit. So we start here. I'm just aiming for some of these spots. And it's okay if they don't, if they get blended out. Because we're going to come in a third step and add in the actual clouds. So something like that. I'm going to wipe the blue that I have on there out, and then I'm going to come in and do this again. Just a little bit stronger here. Yes. Just like that. So, not too bad. Pretty simple. I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to blend it very gently. This is actually dirty, so it'll dull it out just a little bit. But I just want to fuzz those just a bit. There. So it just kind of looks like there's clouds. Moon shining on the clouds. That's what we're going for. Now this next part, I'm going to take the same... I don't want this brush. I'll put that in my moving jar. So we're going to take the same black color, and then we're actually going to darken some of these areas just a bit. So it looks like pushes those clouds a little bit back, just in some spots. Now we're going to come in and blend them out. So we'll start with one, see how we like it, and then keep going if we do. That's how I always try to do things. So it's not so bad, I guess. I might lighten it again once more after this, but I think that's pretty good. I'm coming over here. Just kind of blend out the areas that I want to be darker. Like that. Somewhere in here I need a tree, so I think it goes here on the right. That's my smushed reaction. I might do one more at the top here. Just I gotta set this back because it's getting a little too far in my face. Okay, there we go. Something like that. And can also, I mean, we could do this part, but I think this part's going to have a tree, some semblance of a tree. That's why I'm staying away from it, but maybe we'll add one cloud just to, so they're not so lonely. Just around the edge here. There. Okay, that's enough. Enough of that vicious fan brushing. Okay, I think that's fine for what we're trying to do. Okay, now we got kind of our mood here. Mood. Make sure I'm on track. All right, the next thing. Yeah, pretty good. I think next part is just to do the waves. So we're going to go with, let's see, you could probably use the same dirty brush because it's kind of, I just need one that flattens out pretty good, and this other one, it's a little funny. So I'm just going to add some white to this. And these are going to be the far away waves. So we've got to make sure we're kind of flat. And then we're just going to come across. I'll try to put in most of the white. Try and line it up so there's some kind of reflection here. And I'm not doing this exactly like it is in the book. Normally in the book it's like you draw a line. I can do it here. You draw a line and then you just kind of do this on the back of the wave. So like the wave kind of falls into the other waves. And then you leave the bottoms. But I always just do swooshes. Well, you do whatever. I mean, there's no one set way to do any painting, you know. I'm going to leave the darks in there because it looks nice. Okay, now that we did that, I'm going to wipe this off and make the big wave. Big wave with the, I could probably use the filbert as well if I have some, but yeah, let's switch it up. Let's use the filbert for this because it tends to be better at wave things. So we're going to draw the corner of the big wave. Where do we want that? Let's see. So if we're going over here, maybe the big wave comes in like this. It's a big, something like this. And then it just kind of falls off. Something like that. It'll come off this way. This is going to be rocks. Back of my head, I have to remember that there are rocks there. So, did that part. And then this part's a little tricky because we have to use the phthalo green here. So, we did that. We did also need a little bit of this. We're going to pull this down at some point. Might have messed this up just a smidge, but it's okay. We can fix it pretty easy. And then got that in, so now we need phthalo green. So I'm just going to tap in phthalo green. And some cad yellow. This goes right in to this spot here. And I'm going to wipe that out. I'm going to actually just switch to a completely different brush because I don't want to muddy those at all after I've got that kind of color in there. just going to blend it out with this. Because I don't want it to stand out too much. It's just because it's so dark, you know. You're not really going to see it that much. Yeah. So, I think that's probably good enough for me. Okay. So, we've done that wave part. Kind of chilling in there. Now we got to do the top part. To do this, I'm just going to take some white. Something like that. This is just the illusion of a crashing wave. So that's the white brush that I had before. And I'm going to take some white on the black and blue filbert, and we're going to do a little bit of oh wait, I need crimson in that. If I was going to forget something. Now the question is, which one is crimson? Oh, I might actually put sienna in there. Oh well. You know, sometimes you mix the colors up. That's fine. And I do want to leave a little bit of space here on the wave. Like it shouldn't be all this color. You know? And then if I have another fan brush, I think I do, but I could probably just use this one. We're going to kind of flick this around, just on the edge. Fuzz it out. Little splashes. Something like that. And then we come in with the... Normally I'd use a clean fan brush for this. But I also kind of need to add in this little bit of a splash here. Because there's going to be a wave here. There's a little bit of a wave there. Just a little bit. Take the white. Could use some liquid white maybe. I'm just going to stick with the regular white. Now we're just going to tap the tops. Just add in some more detailed splashes. And I always try to aim for the tops of these. And then wipe my brush in between, otherwise you can't really see it so good. Hopefully this shows up. That area's got a little bit of too much going on, but that's fine. Now I'm just going to take this and pull it down. Make it look like there's something there. Just a little bit though, not too much. Yeah, there we go. Something like this. Okay. So that part's not so bad. It's better than that last one, I think. Last one didn't go so good, from my perspective. Maybe you enjoyed it. Alright, so here we're going to do this wave. And then we need to cut one in here. And then after this, I'm just going to start pulling stuff around and start to add in the rocks. So, let's use this brush maybe. kind of our like wave-ish shapes here. The next part is to add in the rocks. And the rocks are pretty standard rocks. We can either do palette knife or we can do fan brush. The book says to use the fan brush, but I always like using the palette knife for stuff. You know me, I'm a fan of the palette knife. So we're just gonna make some rocky looking things over here. And this is straight, not straight, sorry. This is Van Dyke brown, dark sienna, not directly, but I'm actually gonna put a rock in here because it looks like this is bouncing off of something. Same up here. So I'm gonna put a rock up in here too. Maybe it sticks out a little bit more, something like that. I'm also going to pull it around so there's some texture. I need some texture. Otherwise it doesn't quite work. Do the same thing over here. Texture, I just mean the paint. Basically doing the same thing I do on mountains normally, but sometimes I'll just do it on blank rocks because it gives you this interesting texture of them to pull the highlight colors off. So it's a little bit less work. So there's a couple of those. Maybe we'll just add in some baby ones, little baby rocks here. Little babies. One there, maybe one there. And these won't, you probably can't see these yet, but we need to, do I have the liquid clear still? Yes. So I'm actually going to utilize that a bit on the script liner. And that blue color, black blue, and maybe a little bit more blue, and some white. So it's going to be like a, I don't know, some interesting highlight color here. Or not highlight color for the water lines here. Just around the backs of these. So it looks like the water's falling off of some of these back rocks. And then the further ones, ones that are further up, I'm actually gonna do something, some highlights on them, like these ones for sure. We'll just add some in here too. Just here and there. Doesn't have to be exact yet. So I'm going to let's highlight these just a little bit. Let's see what kind of color we can make. I don't want straight white because that'll look funny. Let's do maybe the black and blue color, some white and some brown. I can show you what I'm mixing up here, otherwise it might be confusing. Over here. Don't quite like that. That's a little bit better. Let's test it first. So he's a little too bright. That's my thing with it. Just have to have a little bit of the brown in it. And I don't want so much of it, you know. It's just not too bright for me. Let's see if we can add some red. Some red and some brown. Maybe this will look a little bit nicer. Just here. Yeah, that's fine. Just on a couple spots over in this one. I just want it to look like there's a little bit of the moonlight bouncing off some of these corners. That one went a little too crazy. That's fine. The rest of this we're just going to cover in water lines, so it'll be a bit of a waterline party from here on. Okay, a little bit more liquid clear. Mix that in this color because this is actually kind of a nice color here. And just throw this in. And I'll also probably splash some what is it? Waves along the bottoms of some of these rocks too. Just here and there. Try and give it some motion there. Okay. Let's do some splashes while we're in it. A little bit of liquid clear on that, just so it's not so hard. This titanium white I have is quite thick, very, very, very thick. If I had my liquid white out, I would probably use that to do some of these, but it's sealed up and it's kind of hard to. Yeah, this one just picked up a ton of brown, which I don't really want on this brush, but let's keep splashing it. And we gotta wipe it out after we splash, otherwise it's gonna get muddy. So around this guy. Very, very thick paint. Okay. There we go. That's a little bit better. Yeah, I just didn't have enough of the liquid clear in there before. These are real choppy. And this color is just clear, some blue and some crimson, so it's kind of like, I think purpley, maybe. This is a very violent painting. Okay. I think that's probably fine for what we want to do. But I did want to try and do something kind of interesting with the border. I don't know. Oh, wait, no, I forgot. I missed one thing. There's a tree. Went all this way, I didn't have the tree. The tree is just over here. Just a little tree over here. Something like that. Maybe you can see it. There's some white on this brush. Hopefully it's highlighting and showing the edge at the same time. Oh, that's a very highlighted edge. Ooh, fancy. some more branches. Well, I think for the highlight, it's just some shade of this brown, not so bright. Something like that. And he just says off on the side, doing tree things. Pull some white on these, just so you can kind of see a little bit better, because I know it's kind of dark. And I'll blend that out. And we just kind of pull it, because I don't want it to be so strong. Also use the, what is it, script liner to add more branches, but it's probably fine. Let's see how we did. I mean, it's not exact, as always. It's a little bit different, but that's okay. I think that's probably fine. I don't know. Let's do something weird, because we got all this white left. Let's just ruin the painting. Just boxing it in with something weird. I kind of like it. I don't know. It's something. Just wanted to do something a little different. Just smoothing out the edges of it. Not that it makes that much of a difference. There we go. I don't know, something different.